How should you go about pursuing a relationship with a woman? Simple, you don't. Thanks for watching. Just kidding. Keep watching the video. If you're watching this at youtube.com/HarryWilmington, hit the like button, subscribe button, and the bell icon to be notified of new episodes. Men's dating coach Harry Wilmington here, founder of introvertdatingsuccess.com. In today's show, we're going to be answering a question from a guy that wants to know how he should go about pursuing a relationship with the woman that he's recently started dating. Now, obviously I was being funny in the beginning of this video, but really, I want to really stress to you guys the importance of not trying to pursue a relationship with a woman. Yes, you want to get into one, but there's ways to go about that, and that none of those ways involve you trying to actively pursue a relationship itself. And I'm gonna get into why that is, so be sure to watch and stay tuned. By the way, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, click on the products tab to check out my eBooks, audiobooks, video courses, as well as my one-on-one coaching program, which is available at the coaching tab. And of course, if you find this information to be helpful, you can click on the tip jar tab there and leave a friendly donation to support this show as well. So let's go ahead and get into this guy's message. He goes, "I've been talking with this woman for about a month now. We both have recently gotten out of relationships, me 5 months ago and her about 2 months ago, both relationships spanning over 7 years. So we are very new to the dating scene again, especially her. So yes, that is a very long time to have been with somebody. And if you're coming across a woman that has dated somebody for a long time, you might think to yourself, well, she's been with somebody for 7 years. I need to kind of tread lightly, and I need to, not let her know that I'm trying to date her because she might not be ready for that. Understand in relationships that women have broken out of, usually if they're the ones that are doing the breaking up, that means that they were probably checked out of the relationship a few months to a couple of years before they actually pressed the button and got out of it, okay? So don't think that just because she's decided to date you now that she's not completely over that previous situation, because she might have stayed in that relationship long enough to realize that she really wanted to get out of it and be perfectly fine now dating you, okay? So don't just get tripped up by the dates and times and how long she was with somebody versus how long she's been dating you. Don't let that trip you up. Continuing, he says, "I need advice on how not to jump the gun. Our conversations over the last month have been fulfilling, different. We talk most of the day and have definitely given each other a breath of fresh air in understanding there are people who will help you get over the past and move into the next phase, and that it's not just your typical short-lived conversations." Okay, so I understand this thing about jumping the gun, because you might be fearing that you're getting along with this woman so well that you're already starting to get a lot of feelings built up in you about this person, and you don't want to make the mistake of moving too fast. And I actually find that commendable that you're able to actually recognize that, because most guys, it takes them years to be able to recognize the difference between you're going out with a woman and you're making moves, but you're moving at a pace that's more patient for her, and that allows her to build up feelings, and you looking at your feelings and saying, well, I already feel these things, so I want to just go ahead and just let it be known, because why continue to hide that, and yada, yada, yada. And this is where a lot of guys trip themselves up, is because they're not able to see that it's not about you. You as the guy are probably going to already have the feeling of wanting to be in a relationship with her at least 2 or 3 months before she actually gets there. She needs time to find you out. That's why you go on dates. That's why you don't try to rush in. That's also why you don't try to do things like see her every single day or text her all the time. And this is how guys end up jumping the gun, is by doing those things. So if you're more patient in your movements and you recognize this is really like a slow dance that's going to lead to a big finale versus a hip hop dance where you're just trying to get out on the floor right away, then you're going to be able to get the results that you want more often than not. Continuing, he says, "I gave her my number the old-fashioned way at a bar on my way out on a receipt, and she texted me, and we've connected ever since she gave me a chance by texting me." So I'm glad that was able to work for you. However, on the off chance that you date other women besides this woman, it's going to typically be seen as a more bold move and a more masculine move if you tell the girl to put her number in your phone. Because you leaving the number and leaving it up to her, that in essence puts her in the lead of the relationship. And even though it doesn't seem like it's a big deal now, psychologically, that puts her in the driver's seat of this thing, which could come to your detriment later when you're trying to be the more masculine presence and trying to lead, and she doesn't want to follow your leadership because, well, she's the one that started off all this stuff, from having to hit you up, from having to ask you on a date, etc., etc. So be more confident in making moves that are bold, confident, and allow her to see you as a leader. If you need help with that, I got a bunch of ebooks at my website website, introvertdatingsuccess.com, that you can check out, as well as programs that will walk you through how to do that comfortably to where you can still be your introverted self, but still get women and still look like a masculine alpha guy, and of course, still get your alone time. Continuing on, he says, we understand there is no blueprint to how these things work. Okay, I want to pause right there because I hear this a lot from guys, and you need to be aware that a man without a plan is doomed to fail. So you can think to yourself, you're going to just go out here and you're going to just be whatever kind of self that you want to be. And you're going to express things you want to express and say things you want to say. You're going to do these actions. You're going to, compliment you when you want to, and you're going to call her when you want to and whatever. If you are not aware of how the buildup of women's attraction works, then you are not going to succeed as much with women or as much with the women that you actually want to get. So am I saying that there is one solid blueprint on how to get women? I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is you definitely, A, need to know how women's attraction works, and B, you need to have a plan of action for how you're going to go about doing your dating. Because once you have a solid idea of how you're going to approach a woman, how you're going to talk to her, and what kind of dates you're going to take a woman on, at what point you're going to start going for the kiss, what kind of moves to make that are going to build escalation to make her feel comfortable with you in a setting where physical stuff can happen. All these things are little steps which, if you build them together, are going to be a blueprint for you to have the most possible success you can have. Now, I got a blueprint on my website. It's my Introvert Dating Success program that you can use. I also have my Smart Digital Dating program if you go on the online dating route. But whether you use my stuff or you come up with something on your own, you definitely need to be a man with a plan when it comes to dating, because you going out there haphazardly trying to do it. Let me ask you a question. Has that been working for you up to this point? Has you just been going out there with no kind of plan and just going there and just trying to hit on girls whenever and say whatever and do whatever as your introverted self been effective? If not, you may want to consider why that is and consider trying to put together some kind of plan of action for yourself or using the ones that I've already put together for you. But I digress. So he said, there's no blueprint, whatever. And we actually recently finally hung out. I've been completely understanding of where she's coming from too, and giving her space and not making her feel rushed. But in us hanging out, it was everything that the last month has been amounting to. So this dude met this woman and they exchanged information, and then he waited a whole month before being able to get her on a date. He doesn't say who asked who on this date. Well, he said that he left a number for her and then she reached out to him. So we know at least she reached out first. But the point is this, it shouldn't have been a month. Like, I know I tell you guys, you should wait a few days from getting a woman's number to call her. And it's not bad, doesn't necessarily that if you wait a month, but I'm saying that that's not necessary. Like, you can get a woman's number within a span of like 3, 4, 5 days, be on a first date with her, and that'd be perfectly fine. And sometimes guys, we wait because we're kind of nervous. We're thinking, oh, she just came out of a situation, so I'm going to try to do the thing where I just talk to her a lot, and hopefully that'll build up enough curiosity, interest in her to want to go out with me. Dude, be more confident than that, okay? If she gave you the number, great. But if you gave her your number and then she hit you up out of nowhere to talk to you, that's the sign that it's okay to ask her out, because women typically are already not in the game of trying to approach guys in the first place. And they're definitely not looking like they're trying to hit you up first usually. So when that does happen, take that as an incoming sign that she wants to go out with you. Why? Because in this situation, if she's hitting you up first, she is in essence chasing you. And what do I always say? If she's chasing you, she can't be replacing you, which means also if she's chasing you, that she's going to say yes to just about anything you want to do date-wise. So be bold, ask for the date sooner. Continuing, he says, my request is, how do I go about this? I don't want to rush it, nor do I want to let things just become stale by not keeping it going. She stated she doesn't want to rush things either, and maybe it's as simple as that. Well, that's true. And here's the thing. Women will tell you that they don't want to rush things. And what they're basically meaning by that is, hey, if you ask me on dates, I'll say yes. If you want to hang out, I'm cool with that, but just don't overburden me. You're a new stimuli, and I need time to get to know you. So give me that time. We can go out. I need a few days between the times we go out to actually like sit there and really think about my experience with you, and then we can proceed accordingly. But women will tell you this because most guys, unfortunately, do not do that. Most guys that she's probably experienced rush in. She's probably been on other dates before you, guy, and those guys are no longer in the picture because they probably exchange numbers and they started texting her all the time. They started trying to ask her out every single day of the week, and those guys are no longer there. And so she's coming to you, and she's saying that because she's probably authentically feeling feelings for you, and she doesn't want you to mess that up. So when women tell you, hey, I don't want to rush this, it is not always a bad thing. If you've gotten to the point where you've done these things, where you've already overtexted her and you've overtaken her out, and she starts saying, I don't want to rush things, at that point, it's saying, hey, slow down, you're already kind of ruining this. But if she's giving you this early on, it's letting you know, hey, you're a cool guy and I just need time to get to know you. So while I'm letting that happen, please, please, please do not try to ask for more of my time than I'm ready to give. Now, at the point where she starts to feel those stronger feelings for you and she starts realizing that she wants to be with you, she will reach out to you and say, hey, let's hang out at these extra times. That's why I tell you guys early on, you want to start by asking for like 1 date a week. It's not because you don't want to see her, you want to fool her or play some kind of game. It's because you want her coming to you to ask for more of your time. And that's going to be a way for you to read that she's actually building interest. You can't do that if you're the one always incoming. You're constantly trying to go on date. You need to give pause so you can see if she's going to come to you, which means that her feelings and attraction is building for you. And if you're doing it that way, then there can be no jumping of the gun because she's coming to you. Continuing on, he says, I haven't gone through these emotions and thought processes in obviously over 8 years, so it's nerve-wracking. The advice I've received is also to do me for a while and have fun, and I have in the last few months, by going on dates, hooking up, and going out again. But when I say this is different than the usual lecture after relationships to not jump into something, it's very much so not the case here. So basically, yeah. So your friends are telling you you should be going out and having fun. And there's a level of truth to that. Honestly, if you feel like this woman is one you want to keep your focus on, then you can do that. The reason your friends will tell you you need to be seeing other women, and I honestly would say the same thing, is because what can happen is if you're just chasing that one person, you shouldn't be chasing them. And the other thing is that when you do that, you can become obsessed with everything has to go right in order for me to lead this to a certain thing. And if it doesn't go there, I'm gonna be devastated. And you really need to become indifferent to who this person is, because realistically, and I've lived long enough to know this, if this one doesn't work out, I guarantee you will find 5 of the women like this one or better. It just takes a little bit of time, okay? So ultimately, guy, you're in a situation where you're talking to a girl, you've gone out on a date, you've talked to her a few times, that's absolutely fine. And so all your job is, as the guy, is to continue doing that. You continue asking her out, you show her a good time. If you start getting physical, you hook up with her, and you just repeat that cycle. That's what your job is. Her job is to chase the relationship, meaning that when she gets to the point where she's spent enough time with you, she emphatically trusts you, she doesn't see any other guy she could possibly see herself with, at that point, when that happens, she will come to you and let it be known that she wants to start having relationship conversations. And it always works out better in terms of keeping her feelings around long term if she's coming to you. Because as guys, if she's treating us relatively good and giving us sex the way we like to, we're pretty much good. But women have a lot of other things that they have to look at about you before they make that decision. So if you've gone out with her for 2 to 3 months and she's been able to see consistency, she's been able to build trust, she's been able to have a good time, and she's really, really feeling you, now you become a commodity that she doesn't want to let go of. And the only way she can make sure that that doesn't happen is to come to you and say, hey, are you seeing anybody else? What about a relationship? So what are we? And that's going to give you a better shot at being able to get into a relationship long-term by making her think it's her choice. Now, you've already decided on date number 4, hey, this girl's going to be my girlfriend, but you got to be the one to sit back and let her brain get to that thought point as well. Once it does, then you guys will be on the same plane and you'll be able to get into a relationship. But you chasing it, you being the one saying, hey, so we need to talk about, we've been going out and we've gone on 3 dates, and are you seeing anybody else still? And are you talking to other guys? And, why are we in a thing? And why don't you claim me as something? Does that sound like a masculine position to come from? It does not. So understand that your masculine position is to be confident and to recognize that you have value and that you're taking her out because it's something you want to do. It's not to please her, it's to please yourself. But if she happens to want a relationship, you might consider it, but you don't come at the woman with that. That is her lane to handle. Your job is Mr. Fun Guy. You're the guy that's coming to her to show her a good time, to do some hookups, to laugh and repeat. And if you do that, I promise you, if you do that successfully enough times, and you're not being pushy and you're allowing patience to be there and you're giving her time to think about you and miss you and all the other stuff, then she will come to you with the relationship and you will not have to chase it in the first place. And by the way, I know this can be a hard thing to get used to, or the idea of like having to slow down, having to really change your mind and think about the different ways that dating actually works versus how you think it works. If you need help with any of that kind of stuff, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, click on the products tab. I have some great ebooks. I got an ebook called No Girls For You, The Ultimate Guide to Losing the Girl of Your Dreams dreams, which basically tells you all the reasons why the things you're doing right now are the things that are actually causing you to lose women. I got an ebook on how to text women properly. I got the Smart Digital Dating Program for you online daters out there. I got my Introvert Dating Success Academy, which is a full 3-month academy that is designed to help you get rid of your anxiety, become a bolder, confident dater, and it will give you an actual blueprint A through Z on how to meet, greet, attract, date, and eventually land into a relationship with the woman of your dreams. All those things can be found at the website, and I also do one-on-one coaching as well, so check that out. But hopefully now you have a better understanding of why you as the guy should not be chasing relationships. Leave it up to her, and I promise you're going to have a better shot at getting what you want. If you found the info in this episode to be helpful, please show your support by clicking on the tip jar tab, the link of which can be found at the website and in the description below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode, and catch new episodes right here on YouTube or wherever podcasts can be found. In the meantime, be sure to check out these other episodes so you too can learn to date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.